Welcome to the Wealth Genius Podcast, brought to you by the Expand Wealth Real Estate Fund. Expand your wealth by investing in apartment buildings. Go to expandwealthfund.com to book your info session. The Wealth Genius Podcast, strategies for multifamily real estate investing, mindset, community, success. The Wealth Genius Podcast with your host, the godfather of real estate, Alfonso Cuadra, who has expansive experience in business and massive success as a real estate investor. The Wealth Genius Podcast. Let's dive into today's episode.
Good. I'm here with my beautiful friends, and we have a long history together, especially in real estate, and you guys are like taking the world by storm. Rise and shine. Even when you wake up late, you see, I remember everything.
He's been listening.
Yeah. We have Roz and Sean, and it's exciting. What's going on, guys?
Well, I didn't even know where to start. We're getting ready for our passive investing talk tomorrow, and we get to go a little bit through the whole journey. So it always brings up such good feelings. I was getting all emotional here
already.
I know it just brings up such incredible feelings because when I think about saying to Sean back in 2019, whoever this guy is, like, don't spend any money, and then to where we are today, it's
and we just came back from Greece together.
Oh
my God,
inconceivable! Like, it really is beyond.
Yeah. I love that. So, that's a perfect place to start because Sean had come to one of my events, and I think before he left, you said, no, we're not joining something else or whatever. Did you take the wallet or what was it?
that was later. That was in Mexico.
But timeshares. Yeah. So why was that? Why did you feel that you had to say that?
Well, he had invested in Amazon FBA and Forex trading, but the ROI was abysmal.
Yeah, it was negative. We lost it a few times.
Yeah, so I was just like, no more, like, enough investing.
What were you looking for?
Oh, I was looking for. So I was in a position where I was negative $40,000 in debt, and I had no pension, no future, and no retirement plan. So what I was looking for was the fast, easy way to make lots of money, get out of debt, and have a future. Although this wasn't fast, but the results when we put the work in, we've solved that problem now. We're ahead. We don't have to worry about retirement now, since making that initial investment in the beginning with you.
And so, so she's saying you're leaving the house. I'm going to this real estate thing. You were on board with real estate. You like real estate, or Nope. Just like you didn't want any
part of it.
Nothing,
part of it. Nothing. Absolutely.
Yeah. So he's going to this real estate thing that one of our mutual friends had invited him to, Mike Air. We should definitely give him the credit for introducing us.
100%.
But you're coming to this thing, and you made a decision, which, happy wife. How did that decision come about?
Well, I phoned her on the way back. I was excited. Like, you blew my mind that weekend. Mm-hmm. Like, I was had a duplex. We had a duplex, but she still didn't want me to do anything. So I'm on the way home. I'm like, Roz, we got to go. Alfonso's doing a weekend in March, and we got to go. We have to go. And she's like, okay. So where did it go from there, Roz?
Well, it wasn't actually okay. It was it was more of a fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll go. Mm-hmm. It wasn't okay. It was fine. Mm-hmm. And I was completely closed to the whole idea. But because when I was little, my dad left his federal government job to become a land developer.
Wow.
And it was when interest prime lending rate was 11%. And it just created so much chaos in my home. My parents started fighting, bickering all the time. It really changed my childhood. So now my husband wants to bring this monster into our marriage. So that was why I was so resistant.
The monster is me?
No, yes, no, real estate.
Okay, just
real estate,
checking.
yeah.
Just checking.
No,
Real estate was
you're
the
teddy
monster
bear.
because we didn't have that paycheck coming in every 2 weeks
yeah,
anymore, right?
yeah,
My mom didn't know there was, it was a long time ago, so it could have been $200 a month for groceries back then.
It's so funny, like a lot of our understanding of money comes from our childhood.
Absolutely.
And I'm very conscious of that with my kids, of how I describe things and, when they ask for, how do I say no without, with taking the word money out of it, like the cost of something. And I'm conscious of that because I remember as a kid, everything costs, and I could feel my mom's pain. And I remember thinking this is just we're just trying to get like dessert or whatever, No, it costs too much money. What do I have to do to have my dessert, to have what I want or to live without lack? Mm-hmm. And a lot of our paradigms are created as a kid. And I could definitely see how a situation where, your dad has made this decision and now the entire family is affected. And in your mind, you're no, you just want a steady job and that's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely. At that same time, I had wanted so desperately to join Girl Scouts with all my girlfriends. And my mom came to me in September and said, we can't afford for you to go. And that devastated me because all of my friends and I had talked about it all summer, which badges we were going to get. And I was left out. I didn't belong. I no longer felt like I belonged. And it was huge. I was 8 years old. But so when he says real estate, I'm like, no. Yeah. Right? I'm going to be left out. There's only bad things. And then I went to that 3-day Ultimate Entrepreneur boot camp
right before the world.
Yeah, right. The week before.
If I made the event a week later, you might not even be here.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And then, I started loosening up when I realized that everybody in the room was genuine and were sharing so deeply. And of course, I felt that I was being super courageous by leading with my faith. And then nobody rolled their eyes or did that thing. So, and then other people said that, they were people of faith. And I was like, whoa, this is a nice place then. This is a nice place. Everybody accepts everybody the way they are. Okay, well, maybe I can listen. Yeah. And then I was able to leave that 3 days and with that realization that real estate is a tool to do good and build wealth. Yeah. Right? It wasn't a monster. I had created it as a monster, but it wasn't. And it has changed my life exponentially since that day. Retirement, everything. Right?
My favorite part of the story is when you turned to Sean and you said, this is a pretty good place. We should join.
We should join.
Thank God, because I did in December.
Yeah.
And Sean says, we're already a part of it.
That's right.
So good. I'm glad you're on board.
It worked out, thankfully.
It worked out. So, now you go on this amazing journey and, moving houses and getting uncomfortable and, apartment buildings and everything that you've done. You guys should be pretty proud of yourselves.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about everything you've done? The biggest challenge.
Well, they just keep changing, right? It seems like the biggest challenge in the moment until the next biggest challenge comes up, right? So, I don't know. Now, I was going to say, when the one time that the bank didn't fund the day of, and we had to raise all the money in cash in a couple hours, that was a big challenge.
We closed.
But we closed. We did it. Yeah. But that was a couple of years ago. So now in comparison, we're like, well, if we can do that, I think we can do anything.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge when we first started out was mindset, getting around. You kept pushing me through our coaching calls. Sean, get away from the onesies and twosies. And I think, because back then, everything cash flowed.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, man, I really wish I had done that because we could have bought probably 5 or 6 of those instead of 5 or 6 duplexes the first year. But I think the mindset was, and then once we got over that, the whole world just opened up even more. So,
And you know, when you get in, I remember you getting your first 18 unit, and you know, turning the unit slowly and seeing the value, the difference in value, and kind of like from going, you know, from the ones and twosies to that 18. I mean, the 18 must have been like a monster to you at that point. Not a monster in the first sense that you
not
meant.
like that monster, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it was, because what happens is people become intimidated by the number of doors or the zeros that are associated to it. I remember my first 7-unit building. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. 7 units all in one place, right? It was just like, to me, it was just like one of the biggest things that I could do in my life at that time. And now looking back, I'm like, what was I?
What was the big deal?
Yeah, what was the big deal? It's, you know, but how did that feel? Like getting, so did you, our buildings, we have a master key. So if we ever sell a building, we give people 1 key. But did you get all these keys?
well, interestingly enough, they had a lockbox. Everything was organized.
Okay, good.
And then when we were walking through, the selling agent put them all on this board, so they were all numbered in order. So it was really simple and easy. And then just having the key, they gave us the keys to the front door, and the keys are in the
was that first 18? That was what was the biggest you had done up to that point?
Oh gosh, I think 4-plex or duplex.
So you go from
4.
You go from 4 to 18.
Yeah.
That's times 4.
Yeah.
Times 4 the size. That's expansion to me. That's expansion. And so, what was one of the biggest, you know, learnings in terms of differences between the 4s and the 18s?
I think it was more at the time. The mindset was everything's going to cost so much more money to maintain, like a roof, if there's foundation issue or something. But it ended up it's so much easier to manage that building than it is any of our other properties, because we can just go in. We have an on-site super who deals with a lot of the stuff, so it makes it a lot easier.
I love the on-site supers. You know, the caretaker. To me, that's the key to making this like more passive than, you know, running around playing janitor.
Well, of course, if you have a duplex and one of the tenants is a jerk, that makes 50% of your tenants jerks. So the other way, it's only like 7%.
So you guys both do this full time.
Yes.
And that's the dream. Sometimes be careful what you dream for. Be careful what you ask for, right?
That's right.
Because you just may get it. So, you know, now you both of you guys are fully, you know, live and breathe real estate. And that's a big jump for a lot of people. And that's the dream that maybe people listening to this podcast may have. Like, wow, like they can just, you know, say goodbye to their jobs, you know. And what would you say that to those people that they're not there yet? And what are the steps that you guys took, and how good did it feel? Or did it feel good?
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I had a great career, although I started late, right? I didn't start my pension career until I was 40. So I would have had to work until I was 80 to get a full pension. And the time came when I was looking at our retirement calculator, and I would have had to work if I had worked another 9 years, it would grant me an additional $1,000 a month for 9 years. And I thought, I can't do this for 9 years. We could do a quick duplex conversion and get $1,000 a month, like in 6 months. And we could do that twice a year, and I'd have a lot more. Even if it with another $1,000 a month, it was nowhere near enough to retire on. So that was when a big light bulb moment.
Had you thought about that before? You know, I think sometimes we don't really see the consequences of inaction, or, you know, you get to the end and all of a sudden there's nothing there, and you know, everyone has a lifestyle and a standard that they're used to. It's not like you wouldn't be okay, but definitely the lifestyle and the standard would be affected big time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No plus.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people as well who count on their pension. My mom, for example, she worked at it for the government for 30 years, whatever, got her pension, but she didn't have enough money really to live on her own. She owned a house, she had a mortgage payment, and all of these things, and it really affected her lifestyle because she had to figure out ways to make things work. Because often your pension and your CPP and all that isn't enough. So I highly recommend that people look at some other way to bring in income, and real estate is a good way to do that, to offset and get that opportunity to live at least comfortably and not have to worry about where your money's coming from.
Yeah, if we can do it, seriously, if we can do it, anybody can do it. And we were essentially financially illiterate.
Yeah. And what was the background here in terms of jobs? Like, what were you doing? What were you doing at that time?
I worked for the city of Ottawa, so I had a decent salary coming in. I had full
golden handcuffs.
The golden handcuffs. I had everything. I had the pension, benefits. Everything was taken care of, and I knew that I wasn't meant to be there though, because I hit a ceiling and there's nowhere to go from here, and this is what it's going to be like for the rest of my life. And I know that I was programmed to do more. So yeah, we come from we both did. We came from great jobs and careers to position ourselves.
And over here, what was the?
I was a project officer at Carleton University. I wrote research proposals and then project managed the successful ones.
And how? So if someone's planning to do this, to have two incomes in the household, how do they approach? What do you first have to look at? What are your expenses? And then figure out, how much money needs to come in order to leave the job. Does one leave first and the other one holds on for dear life? And then, so what's that process? For someone that's at home right now trying to figure out whether or not this is even something feasible for them.
Well, 100%. That's exactly what we did. We looked at the gap between what we need and what we want. Mm-hmm. And initially, I have a little resentment coming out here. I was supposed to retire first in October 31st, so we could have a costume party 2022. Mm-hmm. And I gave my notice in April when I was called back to campus after COVID. Mm-hmm. And then I started doing the drive, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. It was okay working from home. Yeah. But I don't want to do this anymore. But Sean was really miserable in his position at this point because he had just embraced real estate during COVID. He was laid off initially, and so he was able to go to your buildings and go to walkthroughs in Lansdowne and all that stuff when the rest of the world was shut down. So it was really a gift for him that he was able to do the knowledge portion. And he was so miserable. And I said, just put in your notice. So he actually retired in June, so he retired before I did. But as I said, we did have a plan. We knew how much we needed, and now we've far surpassed that. So we now are living the life that we want to live and get to go to Greece with you.
That was fun. That was fun. Yeah. Funny story. So Sean one day calls me. He's like, "Oh, I got this deal under contract. Can we go look at it?" And I was like, "Sure, let's go look at it." But right now, I got this, people with me, Christian, and we're filming stuff. We're filming content for the YouTube channel. And he's like, yeah, come, let's go. So we go to this property, and the realtor's there, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Alfonso. And so, Christian's got this camera. He's got microphones. We're filming a show here. You know what I mean? And so we're going through the entire building or whatever. And, so he's filming everything, and she's there. You know what I mean? And, we found things with we were pointing out things with the problem. Cracks in the walls that you can park a Buick in, And I remember, I was, obviously I'm filming the show, so I got to really emphasize certain things for educational value. And so we leave, and I think I said, let's drop the price by $75K. Because there's certain things like brick. I can't even remember all the things that were wrong.
There was a fair amount of things.
And so, anyways, I think you went for the $75K price reduction, and they said no. So what are you going to do with the content? I might as well put it out, And so we put out this video that like instantly everybody was watching, and it's just me like pretty much ripping apart this property, which I wouldn't have released it if it was like still in the middle of a negotiation, not thinking that maybe someone may want to buy that property, And it turns out the next people that had that deal on the contract were watching my video. And then Sean gets this call where it's
it was a phone call, all right.
With a realtor, and it's like the funny thing was, it's like, what did you expect? We show up there with a camera crew, and it's not like you said don't film the building. It's like we were there with like everybody was in the thing. Anyways, that was I'll never forget that. We drove all the way to Napanee. It was like 2.5-hour drive, and it was well worth it because I'm here to support you guys. I've seen your growth, and now you're helping out our students. You're coaching for Wealth Genius, and you're doing an amazing job. And you're leaders within this community, and within real estate. Period. And so you should be proud of yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you've come a long way. You come really far. So what are some practical tips that you can offer people if they want to get in real estate? Should they be focusing on leaving their jobs? Sometimes I find if that's the focus, it becomes like scarcity. It's like you're doing something just to leave the job. So what do you guys? What's your opinion on that?
I would say just get some education. I think I think we talked about it at the retreat about letting people who know speak into your life without saying anything, right? Mm-hmm. No, I already tried that. Yeah. To just listen to the people who've gone before you, without judgment or without,
just
without
receive it.
Just receive it without keeping that energy going.
The art of allowing.
Yes.
The art of allowing.
Yeah. So that you can have that mindset reset, because that's where it all starts.
Yeah. And I'll second that. Education is one of the most important things for this. If we hadn't met and we hadn't signed up, we would still be doing the same thing, working at a job, not helping people the way that we can, and serving investors, serving other people who want to learn, education.
I love that. Being in a position of service. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to probably wrap things up. But before we do that, let's go to Rise and Shine. What does it mean? How did you come up with it? And, why is it so cool sounding?
Well, it was actually somebody at church that we had just met. And I said, I'm Roz, this is my husband, Sean. And she said, Roz and Sean, Rise and Shine. I'll remember you as Rise and Shine. And it just stuck from there. And then as we have gone through this, it's just the right thing, right? Because that's exactly what we've done with real estate, that we get to rise and shine. And, of course, we woke up late. So we can help anybody else rise and shine, even if they wake up late.
I love it. So I always like to leave the audience with something inspirational, a mantra, a quote, something you live by. We'll start with Roz, and then we'll go to Shine.
Plans fail for lack of advice, but with a multitude of advisors, they succeed.
Wow. So tap into the collective mind of multiple people.
That's right. Wealth Genius, where we're a wealth of geniuses.
I love it.
And I'm going to say do good and build wealth, because when you're serving other people, you get served back.
And I resonate with that so much. This is why you guys are here. This is why you inspire me. And I just want to make sure that you guys shine as much as possible. And thank you so much. Alfonso loves you. That's the show. We'll see you all at the
Top.
top. We made that announcement. Someone must have caught it. Someone must have been listening. Where's the next expand?
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Genius Podcast, presented in part by Expand Investor Conference, this May 16th to 18th in Edmonton, Alberta. Get your tickets now at wealthgenius.ai/expand, and we'll see you at the top.